We're live. All right, guys. Okay, I've got this pulled up. I'll give it a sec. Comment if you can see us, if it's working. I've never done this in an event before. Oh, there's that. Okay, Ashley's on, Tiffany's on. Hey, girls. Kira's on. Sweet, so it's working. Okay, guys, so we're just gonna kick this off. We'll start with a little bit about us. If you guys don't know me, you'll figure it out really soon. We're super casual and super laid back. Yeah. So hopefully you guys are in your comfy clothes and maybe eating a snack or something. And we're just gonna kind of hang out for the next little bit. So we're just gonna start by telling you guys a little bit about us. I'm glad people are jumping on live. Hey Lydia, hey Rachel. I was like, uh-oh, it froze. If it freezes throughout, just refresh your screen because sometimes the connection stinks or something. But yeah, so this will be fun. This is this is our first webinar we've ever done together. And Jay Dizzle is
my first live.
It's his first live, and he's not a video guy, so
So if I'm super awkward, that's why.
he's not awkward. We're just hey Nina. Okay, so yeah, this will be fun. Okay, so a little bit about us. I'm Micah.
JD.
And we have been married for 8.5 years. It'll be 9 years in December. And so I just want you guys to know, we're not coming from a place of like, we've got this crap figured out. Like, no, not at all. It's like, we're always learning, we're always growing, but we've also been...
Lots of highs and lows.
Yeah, we've also been in like some really low times where we were basically just like roommates, hanging out, living together, getting through life. And we have learned a lot and grown a lot. So, hey, Stacy and Matt. So yeah, so that's just kind of what we're going to share with you is, oh gosh, don't hit the table or else it shakes. We're just going to share some of our top tips on what we've learned. Oh gosh, I need to not touch the table. And hopefully it will kind of shed some light on maybe something you're going through or just little things that will help enrich your marriage even more. So we'll kick it right off. We have been married, like I said, for 8.5 years. We met
at Weber State.
We met at Weber State. I was playing volleyball. JD was playing football. So we kind of met like in the weight room,
Yeah.
which is ironic because now probably all you see is us working out and stuff. But we met in the weight room. He was actually dating my roommate.
Not dating. I went on a couple dates.
She was gorgeous. And so that's how we first met is she was like, oh my gosh, I met this cute guy and blah, blah, blah. And but then they didn't hit it off and we started hanging out and we started dating at the end of July. Okay, no. Our first kiss was July 5th. And he took me up to his family's ranch at the end of July, and we told him we were getting married. And then we got engaged on my birthday, which was September 6th. And then we got married in December. So it was like July to December, everything happened. Bam, 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 bam. And so it was good. So it happened fast. Like when you know, it was that kind of thing. But we definitely had a lot to figure out once we got married.
We were still really young.
I was 19, babies.
I was 23,
He was
so
23.
we were super young and didn't know much.
Yeah, we had to figure stuff out. So right after we got married, we were still in school. I was playing volleyball, he was playing football, like I said. We got pregnant about 7 months after we were married, and then we graduated from school that following. So we had Johnny in March, graduated that May, and then he was drafted to play football at the Miami Dolphins. So we drove out there when Johnny was 7 weeks. So basically, we got yanked out of our comfortable, like, home atmosphere, and we just had to figure stuff out with a new baby, with us, just on our own.
Which was good, starting out for us to just be on our own, learn to rely on each other, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was good
We
for
failed
us starting.
forward.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we were out there for a couple years, and then he was actually accepted to vet school to be a large animal veterinarian.
Before that all happened, and so went and played for 2 years, and then once we finished up with football, we moved the family to Oklahoma. We
Yeah,
had
go
two
Pokes.
kids.
I saw that.
There you go. We had 2 kids.
Oh, okay. I think we're back.
Yes, we had 2 kids at the time, and we spent 4 years in Oklahoma while I was going through vet school.
Yeah, and that is when we had some of our hardest
Lowest
times.
lows.
He was like so wrapped up in school, which was great. He graduated #1 in his class because he's the bomb. But he was like so focused on that I was like
She was feeling
lonely.
pretty, yeah.
I was like, he doesn't love me. No, I never thought that. But you know, like you go through that. So that was when we had our lowest of low times, and we had to like really figure stuff out, like really dig deep and be like, do we want this to work? Because we were at that place.
Yeah.
So so that was probably what, 2.5 years ago?
About 2.5.
Probably 2.5 years ago is when we hit our like low, when we were talking about the D word and all that stuff. And thankfully, we both wanted it to make it work, and were willing to, you know, figure stuff out and to. Okay,
Sorry,
this
guys.
is so annoying. Okay, so that's basically our story.
Yeah. So now we live in Rexburg, Idaho.
Yeah.
We have
Three
three
kids.
now.
He is a large animal vet. You need to scoot over. You're not in the picture.
we go.
He's a large animal vet, and I am a beach body coach. So that's what we do, and it's pretty awesome. He's also a coach, which is fun. We get to do it together. But so yeah, let's dive into the 5 tips because they probably don't even care about our story. Okay, so I want you guys to get a notebook or something that you can just write down the topics, because then it'll like jog your memory as you're looking at it, and you'll be like, oh yeah, this is when they talked about that. Okay, so tip number 1. If you guys haven't read the book, The 5 Love Languages, you need to read it. That was so helpful for us. So our first tip is love languages. Figure out 1, what your love language is, and 2,
Your spouses.
your spouse's love language. So what are the love languages? Just a brief overview really quick.
So the 5 main love languages is quality time,
Don't hit the table.
physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of service, and gifts. You can probably tell I was reading those. I know what Micah's are now, though.
Yeah, so this is super important because if you're not familiar with the book, basically everyone feels loved in a different way based around these 5 main things. So, for instance, my love language, hardcore, is quality time, and his love language is words of affirmation and physical touch. So, for me, when he's not spending time with me and when I feel neglected, the last thing I want to do is hanky-panky with him. And so clearly that's not going to work. So it's important that he spends time with me, so I want to have physical touch with him, right? Because him wanting to be physical with me doesn't show me that he loves me.
Right.
That's just...
You got to love them the way they want to be loved.
Exactly.
And that, I don't know if it's in the 5 love languages book or a couple other books we've read, but they talk about the love tank.
Oh, yeah.
And basically the only way to fill that love tank is by performing,
Deposits.
yeah, exactly,
Into the tank
deposits.
in their love language.
Exactly. You can be doing, like Mike was explaining, like mine's physical touch, words of affirmation. And because that's what I like, lots of times we tend to want to do that to our spouse.
Yeah, naturally you want to do what you feel loved,
Right.
right? So...
But you can do that all you want, but that's not making deposits. You're not filling that love tank, even though you might think you are.
Yeah. So you can be doing all of these things and be like, dude, I can't even make her happy. She's such a punk, you know? And then it's like, you're not even spending time with me. You're buying me all this stuff and you're wanting to make love and whatever, but you're not spending time with me. You just need to get clear on what your love language is and what their love language is.
And talk about it. Like, you gotta,
Yeah.
I mean,
Obviously,
you
your
gotta be
spouse needs
honest
to know
with each other. Yeah,
what it is.
Yeah, you can't just
how
expect
you
them
feel.
to know it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the first one, love language. Second one, goals. We love goals.
I know.
We love goals, but you got to get really clear on your goals together as a couple, as a family, because it's easy in life to you have your separate things, right? So you can be going really hard towards one goal and he can be going really hard towards another goal, and you're clearly going in opposite directions, which is not going to help you have a good relationship or a good marriage.
Right.
So it's super important. Communication, I swear, goes in every single one of them.
Right.
But you have to just be on the same page. You have to be clear on where you're going together and how you're going to get there.
But you need to sit down together and talk about, what are you guys what are you guys, what are you pushing for? But it's got to be something that you both want. And it's something, like, write it out and make sure that it's in line with, what both you want. I guess an example of that, just going back to when we were going through a really low spot in vet school, is, I was pushing really hard, studying really hard in school. The same time when we were going through this really hard time, Micah was pushing for top 10 in Beachbody. Both really good goals, but they just kind of, we were both working really hard, but we weren't
Working
on
hard
the same
together.
page. Yeah, we weren't doing it together. And so we would get frustrated with each other.
Yeah, so I think it comes down to, one, being on the same page, but that open communication and just being supportive.
Right.
He was not supportive
No.
of Beachbody at the beginning. So that obviously was like major friction because it was something that I was super passionate about. Like, I saw the vision really early on and he didn't. And so I was frustrated and like, why doesn't he get this? Why is he getting mad at me for working on this thing that's super awesome? Like, I'm helping all these people. And he was just like, oh, you're on your phone again.
Right.
But as soon as he got on board, it was a whole different story.
Well, part of that too is understanding the difference between your expectations and reality. When we got married,
Yeah.
Micah, she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. She didn't want to work. And so in my mind, my expectation was that
I was going to be Betty Crocker.
right. And so, but reality, obviously we change. It had been about 6 years since we'd been married. And we change as
We evolve.
Yeah,
People
exactly, we
evolve.
evolve.
Your goals are going to evolve. Your relationship's going to evolve.
Yeah.
And so I think he was super frustrated because he's like, I married this girl who wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I still do. Obviously, I want to be a mom first and foremost. But he was like, she needs to do laundry and clean and do all these things and fix me meals. And I was like, dude, I need help with the laundry because I'm trying to build this empire over here and I need you to pick up some slack. So we were just like not on the same page.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got clear on that, on the same page, he understood why I was doing what I was doing. Our vision was clear about where we were going with this.
Going together, yeah.
We were going together. Everything was better.
Right. And part of that, so we talked about the importance of writing, together going over goals that you're going for, writing them down. But also, just because you write a goal down, say 6 months ago, today, every 6 months it's good to go over those because today, stuff changes and you might need to, change those goals a
Yeah,
little
you just
bit.
revisit.
Yeah.
Revisit the situation, revisit where you're going, what's getting you there, how the vibe is between you guys. Like, it's just a constant, you just need it, like...
Get me intentional about it.
Yeah, we're going to
So,
talk about that.
I know,
Don't
I
say
know.
that yet. Okay, third tip is
Quality time.
quality time. So in this book that we read, that basically saved us. Seriously, personal development saved our marriage. I'm for real. So we dove into this book called His Needs, Her Needs. And if you guys are struggling at all, I would get this book and read it ASAP. And have your spouse read it too, because it's really great.
Just go through it together.
Yeah. So quality time is a huge, huge point that he talks about. And guess how many hours a week you're supposed to spend together in order to have like a healthy
Like
marriage.
one-on-one, like
One-on-one
not just
quality
together,
time,
but,
not
yeah.
just existing in the same room. Guess. I want you guys to guess. What's the book again? It's called His Needs, Her Needs. It's so good. Yes, Patty, thank you. Okay, so 15 hours. 15 hours! That's a long time. As soon as I read that in the book, I was like,
There's no way.
we don't have 15 hours to hang out. Are you kidding me? We got life. We got laundry. We got crazy kids. We got school. We got vet school. We got Beachbody. We got church. We have callings in church. We have all these things. Like, how are we going to hang out for 15 hours? But in the book, they said it is essential. You need to spend that time together to like keep your bond strong and to just be with each other and to nurture your relationship. And so we made it a point to get that time together. And it's a constant effort.
Yeah.
Because if you're not intentional with it, like we'll talk about later,
Right.
it doesn't happen because life gets in the way. But
You can't just find, I mean, there's not just an extra 15 hours. Like, you've got
Right.
to find stuff that you're already doing. Like, we were both already working out, but because of my schedule, like, I would get up super early, go to school to study, and then she would do her workouts and work. But part of it, like, we had to find time, so we started working out together in the mornings.
so yeah, so find things that you're doing separately that you can do together.
Right.
So working out was one of those that we were doing separately that we could easily do together and have that quality morning date every single morning. So basically, our morning routine is a big part of our quality time.
Yep.
So he wakes up earlier than I do. He does his own like personal study.
Then
Do you want to tell our morning routine?
Yeah, so,
Got
I mean,
it down.
well, my alarm is set at 4:30 every morning. I don't always get up right when my alarm goes off. But, so I go, I got some books and stuff I'm reading or stuff I'm studying, like vet stuff. At 5:30, I make her pre-workout drink. I take it into her.
My morning wake up call is shaker bottle.
That's right.
Energize.
So I bring it into her. Usually Brig is in bed next to Micah, so I
Usually he's
grab him.
feeding. Usually he's nursing.
So I grab him, take him in, put him in the swing, turn on music, and then we read scriptures together
So yeah, so we do
while she's
our
drinking
scripture
her
study.
pre-workout.
Then we get ready, and then we go work
Then we go
out
work out.
while Brig's sleeping. And we usually work out together. We usually do the same workout, but since I'm doing Country Heat right now, he was not excited about Country Heat. I don't know why. But so he's doing Body Beast, but we're still in there. He has his
Together.
headphones on. He's doing Body Beast. I'm doing my Country Heat. We're like still, it's not as cool as when we're actually working out together with the same workout because I really love that. We push each other and we support each other, and we're super competitive. So he makes me go way harder, but.
Well, and your shoulder's kind of
Yeah, my shoulder's kind of retarded right now, so it's getting fixed. But yeah, so working out and finding time to just be together, okay? 15 hours, quality time. So figure out what you guys like, figure out what you enjoy, what he enjoys, and then how you can fit it in. Maybe it's a quick lunch date. Maybe it's a quick, I don't know. I really like watching shows.
Right. So at
Which-
nighttime
Yeah, which I didn't
our
do
shows that
for
we
a
watch.
long time while I was building my business and stuff. I cut out a lot of that stuff. So shutting off my brain and like watching Grey's Anatomy or something next to him is like the best way
it's quality time.
to end the night. And that is quality time to me. Some people who watch a lot of TV, that's not going to be quality time because you're not going to have that attention from your spouse, and that's probably what you're wanting. So it just depends on the person. You have to know what your spouse wants. You have to know what your spouse needs, what you need, and talk about it and figure out and make it happen, okay? Quality time. Number 4, sacrifice. This is,
Probably the most important.
yeah. Do you want to talk about the first part?
Yeah, I mean, this goes. I think this ties in a little bit to goals. Like, you need to sit down. Like, what are your key priorities as a couple? I mean, what things are most important to you? I think if you can outline your key priorities, then that simplifies everything. Because then you can always ask yourself. I mean, if there's something that's just for whatever reason is causing tension between you guys, it's easy to ask yourself, does this align with our key priorities as a family, as a couple? If it doesn't, you get rid of it.
Right. So you don't want to have like 59 key priorities.
Right.
You want to try and get it to like 3. Try and get it to 3, and then it makes it simple. When you're doing whatever, a perfect example, he loves team roping. Loves team roping. He would do it every single night if he could. So how often do you team rope?
Probably once every 2 weeks.
Maybe once every 2 weeks. Maybe, like, it depends on the season.
Sometimes it's once every week, but
Yeah, he would do it every night if he could. But that's something like that's what he loves. So like if I love him, I'm going to let him do it at least like once every week or 2. But that's a sacrifice that he's made not to do it every single night because that's our family time. And that's when we can be together. And that's, when we're putting the kids to bed. For me, working out together and having that quality time was really important to me. So I have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn to work out with him before he went to work. If I wanted to work out with him, I could have easily worked out. I don't work outside the house. I could have easily worked out anytime during the day by myself, but working out with him was a priority. And so I sacrificed some sleep and I would wake up with him to get it done. So just little things. Maybe you're, I don't know, we really don't have that much extra fluffy stuff. So,
right.
But maybe, what are some examples for normal humans?
Of sacrifice?
Yeah. Like what? Oh, like if you guys, I think his name is Jimmy Evans. He's a marriage guy. He has YouTube videos and he's awesome. In one of his videos, he was obsessed with golf and it was causing tension in his marriage because he wasn't spending time with his wife and whatever. And
his kids, yeah.
Yeah. And he fully gave up golf. His number one love outside of his family or whatever. And that's what it comes down to. Is this more important than your family? If it is, then great, go do it. But if it's not, then cut it out. And it's not something you have to cut out forever.
Right. There's seasons.
Yeah, totally.
So, I'm sure there'll be a time when our kids are grown out of the house. Like, I'll be able to go roping more. She won't have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out with me. And so, there's certain times when, like, you're going to have to sacrifice to make things work. And there's a quote that I love, and it says, "Do today what others won't so you can live tomorrow the way others can't." And so, like right now, there might be things that you need to give up to make your relationship work, to make things in your family better. And so...
Yeah. And if your wife or your husband is worth it, then those things...
Right.
Can go for
one
a
other
little
thing
bit.
that I think that we need to talk about too is in a relationship, and this goes hand in hand with sacrifice. It's not like
Move back over, babe.
so often we think that, like as a couple, for us to be 100%, we each need to give 50%, and then each of our 50% equals 100%. But that's not how it works in a relationship. You each have to give 100%, and you have to realize too that. You can't control the other person, like you can only control you. And so, 100%, like you can control what you're doing. And so if you know that there's something that you need to cut out or something that you need to add to make your situation better, don't wait on the other person to ask you to do it or...
Yeah, I think that's such a common thing.
Yeah.
Especially, you're like, well, I'll do this when he does this.
Right.
I'll give him SEX when he spends time with me. But if I just give him that, then he'll probably want to spend time with me. So like you just got to kind of be the bigger person. And if something's important to you enough, then you're going to control what you can control. And you'll do what you need to do to help your relationship.
Give your, just give 100% on your part.
And don't
without any expectations in return at first.
Right.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Love them the way they want to be loved before they probably even deserve to be loved that way.
Right.
Okay. And number 5, and we've kind of been talking about what does SEX spell? I love you, Brianna. Number 5, and we've mentioned it like 49 times, you just have to be intentional. And this is like my most favorite concept for life in general, just to be intentional with life. But especially with your relationship, it is so easy to let everything else get in the way. Laundry, kids, school, church, career, travel, like just everything, stuff, video games. What do normal people like? Roping, golf, all these extracurriculars, all these busy whatever, that it's hard to find time to spend together, and it's hard to, do those things that keep you connected. But you have to be, if your relationship is important to you, which if you're on here, it probably is, then you just have to be intentional with it. And you have to say, okay, like when on Sunday nights, when we're planning out our weeks, it's like, hey, what does our week look like? What do we have? Okay, when can we fit in a lunch date? When can we do this? It's like you have to plan it just like you plan your work, your doctor's appointments, your everything else that gets fit in your busy schedule.
Well, and we're at a good place in our marriage. Well, especially right now, and I think it's because of these 5 points of implementing, but we still, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, we have to be intentional about implementing these 5 points. I mean, you got to understand the love languages. You have to, what?
Nothing. Keep going. Their comments are funny. Keep going. Keep going, babe.
Okay. Sorry. So, I mean, intentional about, like, reviewing your goals, your quality time. I mean, you got to be intentional, like, sacrificing for your vision, for what you guys want. I mean, it's just...
Finances.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. Yeah. Finances is such a big stress, friction creator in marriages. You guys have to be on the same page. You have to be intentional about your saving, intentional about your spending, intentional about your budgeting, and know where your money's going and who's spending what and whatever. Or else you're going to be like, dude, where the heck? Like, what's going on? Why are we in the red, They're not here yet. So yeah, just intentional with life in general. If you take one thing away from this thing, be intentional with your life and it'll get better.
And just going, I guess, just to kind of drive these points home, there's an analogy that Darren Hardy makes about a water pump.
I posted this on our team page today.
Okay. So it's one of the old, like, he's talking about like one of the old water pumps that's got the handle that you've got to pump. Basically, when you start, you've got to pump that handle like crazy, and you're going for, I mean, it might be 5 minutes before you even start seeing any water coming out of the spout. But as soon as you see the water coming, you can't stop pumping that handle and expect the water to just keep coming. Once it's coming, you just got to keep going. You might not have to pump as hard as you were, but to keep it flowing, you just got to be slow and steady. And that's how... Consistent. Exactly, consistent. And in our relationships, in our marriages, in our families, it's the same thing. I mean, we can't, when we're in a bad place, we can't just go crazy with these things, and as soon as we start seeing things improve in our relationship, we can't stop doing those things and expect it to just stay good. I mean, it's once we get things going, like, you just got to be consistent with them, and day after day, week after week, you just got to make these points a part of your life and part of your relationship.
Yeah, and if you guys are in a really bad place in your marriage, you're gonna have to
work hard at it.
Hard and be really intentional and put a lot of effort in and really go out of your way to, like, make it work. And then you get to the good place and you just stay on track. Be consistent with the little things. Yeah? Right. Okay, someone said to post the 5 things to the Facebook. I'll post our 5 things to the Facebook group after this is done.
Somebody just posted it.
Oh, someone did. Awesome. Okay, people are way cooler than we are. Yeah, so that's honestly, it's not rocket science, you guys, but it's like the more that I talk to people and the more that I get to know them, like, I remember when we were on the top 10 trip in Paris, we were talking to all the other coaches and their spouses were there, and I'm pretty sure every single one of them had like a time in their marriage where they were like, make it or break it. Right. Like, we either need to do this or I'm out. And I was like, holy cow. Like, I felt at that point like that was something that
was unique
was
to us,
probably
yeah.
unique to us and that they hadn't been through, you know, and it was like all of them. And so I'm like, okay, probably everyone goes through some really highs and lows. So I just felt like it would be good to talk about stuff and to just help people realize that they're not in it alone and that lots of people are going through stuff, and you know, you can figure stuff out and get to probably a better place than you've ever been when you work through it. But we are going to help you guys do this. So we are going to do a 5-day free group starting on Monday for anyone that wants to be intentional about growing your marriage and growing together as a couple. And just, it's basically going to be 1 video a day with a little homework assignment. So it's going to be super simple, super quick, but it's just going to help you get the ball rolling for improving your marriage, or if you have a great marriage, making it even better. So we're going to start that on Monday. I will probably post, I'll make the group and then I'll post the link in this event page since all of you guys are in there, and you guys can request to join, and then we'll just get the party started on Monday. So that'll start on Monday. I also wanted to mention too, something that is going on if you see my fitness post, lots of my coaches are on, so they'll know all about this. But if you're not a part of Beachbody, in September, Beachbody is doing this thing called a health bet. And working out and working on our health and our fitness has been such a good part of our relationship, has strengthened us so much, and just really changing our lifestyle. And so I figured this would be a fun way to implement this relationship webinar into this health bet. If you guys want to do it with your spouse, get them on board. So basically how it works is Beachbody is usually with a diet bet, you have to put in money, and then if you hit your goal, you get some money back. Well, with this health bet, Beachbody is covering the pool of money. So they're starting with $1 million, and then they're matching up to $3 million, depending on how many people participate. So there's this huge pool of $1 million to $3 million, and all you have to do to earn a check to get a piece of the pie is you have to log 3 Beachbody workouts and 5 Shakeologies a week for 4 weeks. So the challenge goes from September 5th to October 2nd, and we log it through the My Challenge app, the My Challenge Tracker app. And so whoever is going to do this will get added to the challenge, and then you just have to log your stuff. And when you complete it, Beachbody sends you a check. So it's just a fun way to get started on your health journey, to get the ball rolling, to create those healthy habits, and then you get paid for it. So
yeah, can't go wrong.
Yeah, awesome. And you can do it with your spouse. So it'd be super fun, a way to get that quality time and to support each other, and to, honestly, when you feel good about yourself, it's a lot easier to love someone else when you love yourself first. So I think that probably has played a big role in it. When you don't feel good about yourself, it's hard to let someone else love you, because sometimes you don't feel worthy, or you don't feel, pretty enough or whatever for your spouse. So when you feel confident in your own skin, it's easier to let people love you, which seems backwards, but I think that's how it works. But yeah, I think that's all we got. So do you guys have any questions? I haven't even scrolled through here. Actually, I'll go through them on here. I haven't scrolled through any of the questions. So if you guys asked a specific question, then post it again. But if you don't, we'll go through and respond.
Are we picking somebody to?
Oh, we have to pick a winner too.
We got a $50 gift card.
Yes. So I'm just going to randomly scroll on this and then go wham, bam, bam. Oh, should we pick a non-coach? Probably. Let's see. Wham, bam. Kelsey Daubish. Is that how you say your name? Write it down so I don't forget. Message me, girl, and I will send you your gift card. You are the winner. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and see if there's any other questions. No, a coach can win too, Brianna. What do you mean by being intentional in your life? Just with everything, like just getting clear on how you want to spend your day, on how you want to,
Don't just let life happen to you.
If you aren't intentional with your day, then your day takes over. Yeah. So you have to wake up with a purpose. You have to have a plan. Don't just wake up and let life get thrown at you. You wake up, you know your game plan for the day, you know what you're going to eat, you meal prep, you plan in your workout, you plan in your quality time with your husband, you plan in your quality time with your kids, you have a plan for stuff. And you know what? If you know me for more than 5 seconds, I am not a planner or like whatever. So it's like a soft plan. Like you kind of know what's going on, but it's not like 3 o'clock, I'm going to do this, 5 o'clock, I'm not like that at all. Some days my kids don't eat lunch because we forget. So it's great. But no, you're just intentional. Like I'll give a perfect example. When I was building my business with Beachbody, I had to get intentional with the activities I was doing, with the fluffy stuff that wasn't, it comes down to like, is this blessing my life? No. Okay. It's out the door. Is this helping my relationship with my husband? No. Okay. It's out the door. Is this helping my relationship with my faith? Whatever you want to do intentionally, just get intentional with life. That's what I meant. Dobish.
Okay.
Kelsey Dobish. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Anything else? How often do you guys do date nights?
Days a month.
So we always try for once a week.
Doesn't always happen.
But that doesn't always happen. And if it doesn't happen on a night, like we usually try for Friday nights, but if that doesn't happen, then we'll try and squeeze in like a lunch date or something like that. So sometimes it's not like big and extravagant, but...
And sometimes we end up just doing something
And sometimes we do dates in. Yeah, we actually subscribe to this date box, and we have like 6 of them that we haven't used yet. But we have a backup plan for if we can't leave, like once the kids go to bed, we can have a date night in. And it's just that quality time and just being intentional about it. Can we participate in your 5-day marriage thing if we are coach? Yeah, totally. Have you ever struggled with sleep deprivation as parents? That's been the hardest for our marriage. Our son is almost 2 and still wakes up a lot. I'm so tired. You know what? My mom says I'm a robot and him because we just function on not very much sleep.
5.5, 6 hours.
So I've never really dealt with that. I do deal with kids that stink at sleeping, but I don't know if Shakeology helps, Energize. Yeah. Something we're doing is helping because we got energy and we don't struggle with that.
And our kids tend to just sleep next to us until they learn to sleep.
Until they learn to sleep in their bed.
Yeah, we're not very good at getting them trained to sleep on their own. He's getting better.
He wakes up like 49 times still, but I don't know. We kind of just function. So I don't have a good answer for that. Does anyone have a good answer for Emily? We have 5 we haven't used either. That's so funny. Energize definitely does help with that. Emily, if you don't use Energize, you should. It's amazing. Yes.
Oh, the date boxes. You can
you can subscribe, and it comes once a month. And it's like the last one we got was super cute. It comes completely planned. The last one was a sushi date. Yeah. And so it gave everything you needed to like make your own sushi from home. It gave you in the box. So cute. I would never do that in real life.
Well, and that's the biggest thing too. And that was one thing when we were really struggling, when we were still in vet school, her biggest thing was quality time. And like we would go on dates, but they were just super lame. Like we went to the same restaurant, like it was just, and that was one thing, like it's hard. I mean, especially for me, I'm not very creative, but it was hard for me to try to plan out something that she wanted to do or something that was exciting for her. And so that's what's great about these date boxes.
We don't get too crazy. Our dates are always boring, but we don't care at this point. We still have a nursing baby, so getting out of the house for like an hour and a half is like, woohoo! So that's about as exciting as it gets. Let me think.
What dates do you do now?
What kind of dates do you do now? Seriously, I told you we're lame. Yeah, Brig is still nursing, so when we go on dates, it's usually like dinner and
a movie.
No,
sometimes.
Not even that. It's dinner or a movie.
All right.
We usually dinner and like walk around, like we'll walk along a river or go grocery shopping.
Yeah, we do that.
Grocery shopping without kids, that is like sexy. What else? Movies and ice cream. See, we're not really that cool. But something we did do the other day, my mentor actually had me do this. So he checks in with me each week about my family goals because he knows that's my top priority. And for me, like, we are workaholics and we could work 24/7 and like be happy and love it because we both love what we do. So we have to check ourselves and be like, hey, are we having enough fun in life? Are we spending enough time with each other? You know? So that's what he checks in with me on is like, okay, what'd you do for date night? What'd you do for this stuff? You know? And so he had us make a list of 5 things that we like. So I made a list of 5 things that I like. He makes a list of 5 things that he likes, and then you plan the opposite. So I would plan his dates around what he likes, and he would plan dates around what I like. So that's a fun thing too that you can do with your spouse. Yeah, rock climbing, that's fun. We did that once in Oklahoma. How do you date when you don't have the budget for a babysitter and the date? Honestly, I would just do date nights in if I were you. We did that a lot when we were poor in vet school. We would go get Netflix and we would get a treat and we'd put the kids to bed and that was our date. And that was fine, you know.
But you've got it. I guess what happens sometimes when you stay at home though is you have your phones, you have like there's distractions. Like if you're gonna do something,
be intentional.
Yeah, you got to be intentional. Put your phone away, like turn it off. Like you've got to. If you're going to be together, it's got to be quality time. Paying attention to each other.
Yeah.
And so, like, you just got to make sure you pay attention to that.
Yeah. Or, swapping with another couple. We did that a lot. When did we do that? In Florida or in Oklahoma?
No, we did it in Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma, we'd swap with the Mitchells. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we did that. Like every other week, we would swap. And so our kids would play and they would go on a date, and then we'd take them over the next week, and we'd go. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yes, Lowe's. I love Lowe's. I remember walking through Lowe's and being like, you've hit, like, real life when you love walking through Lowe's. Like, you're like, this is the best. This home, whatever, knobs and stuff. Like, yeah. Don't look at me like that. Guys, he's giving me the look.
No, of all people to talk about hardware and stuff.
Yeah, I can't fix anything. But I still love home stuff because I'm like, oh, it's homey. You know?
You
Whatever.
are a homebody.
I am a homebody. I could never leave and be fine. Netflix or Redbox. That's right. Okay, guys. Knobs. I know, we're lame. Swinging. No swinging, Greg. No swinging. Just a babysitter and swap the kids. Don't swap the spouse. So funny. Oh my gosh. It's so true, Katie. I used to hate Lowe's too. But we're grown-ups now. All right, you guys. We are going to get... Oh, Tara! What's up, girl?
It's late.
I know, it's late for you. Why are you not sleeping, crazy? Okay, have you guys ever done counseling before? Do you suggest it? Someone asked, and I'm curious as well. Okay, we haven't done real counseling, but I'm definitely not against it. I think if you're in a place where you guys need like a middle ground and a mediator, it would be great. When we were struggling in Oklahoma, we would actually meet with our bishop, if you're familiar with the LDS church. We would meet with our bishop and he would help us through stuff and we'd talk to him. And that was really helpful because he didn't pick sides and he, so it was good. So if you're at that place where you feel like you need, like you're not getting anywhere, just trying to work it out by yourself, then I would for sure.
Josh just joined.
Oh, what's up, Josh? Josh is my mentor. I was telling you about the 5 lists. He's the bomb. Anything else? I think that's it, you guys. East Coasters, what's up, Josh? Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up. So I will go ahead. Josh Coates, he's right above you, Rosie. He's the bomb. Hey, TJ. Gosh, I could stay on here all night and just hang out with you guys. So I'm going to post the link to the free 5-day group after this. And then if you guys have specific questions about the health bet, make sure that you message me because we're going to be getting that rolling soon too. So it's going to be super fun. All right. Oh, wait, one more. How did you convince him Beachbody could be a real job and it was worth it? honestly, he got started on personal development.
Yeah, that was.
He got started on personal development. He read the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And then
Well, and I can't remember what it was. She showed me too something,
a video.
a video of the corporate or
I
something.
think I showed him
and,
a video from Carl Deichler, who's
Yeah.
our CEO.
and just seeing like the quality of the company, like what the company stands for.
He saw like the vision, like the bigger picture. Because your spouse, when you get into this, they're like, they see you on your phone, they see you taking selfies, they see you like, you know, it's like really surfacey. And then they
There's a
get
lot
the
more to
bigger
it.
picture that it's like about growth and changing lives. And these people are actually, you know, developing into these awesome human beings because you help them. And he's like, all right, this is worth your time. Well, and then it doesn't help, or it helps when you start making some income, because then obviously that speaks for itself. So I would just say the best thing you can do to get your husband on board is, one, have open communication with him about why you're doing this and what you're doing. And two, is commit
Yeah, if
to
you're
it.
serious about it, I mean, show that.
He would have been super frustrated if I was just like dabbling,
Right.
like half in, half out, kind of doing it so. But I think he saw that I was like fully committed and doing it, and he was like, all right. You know? What do you have to say about that? To a spouse that's not supportive.
I don't know. I did a video on it.
Come on, babe. He did do a video on it.
I
But
mean,
personal
you just
development
like
was
anything
huge,
in life.
honestly.
I mean, like what Michael was saying. I understand it's different because it's not like a typical job where they leave and you know that they're at a certain place working and whatnot. But even so, if it's something that fulfills them, I feel like you owe it to your spouse to support them. I mean, give them the support that they need to. Especially if it's something that fulfills them, and I don't know, I feel like you owe it to your spouse to give them the support. I mean, if it's somebody obviously it should be somebody that you obviously care for. So
Your spouse should be your biggest fan.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
In whatever you want to do. So I would just say, do you love me? Okay, will you support me? I would just be honest and say that, because I don't know,
Right.
if it's something that makes you happy, they want to see you happy. So the best thing you can do is, one, be honest and real with them, and then two, go all in and commit to it and show them that you're for real about it, and you're not just like on your phone sometimes wasting time, and you know, because then it's annoying. It's more annoying than it is like, oh, she's for real doing this. Like,
Right.
I'm gonna support her in this.
yes, you just got to communicate it to them.
Yeah.
So
All right, we're for real getting off now, so you guys can get some sleep or go have hanky panky, whatever you want to do. All right, guys, I'll post the links to the group, and if you guys have any other questions, this event page will be open through, I think, the 21st. So ask whatever, and we can answer stuff in there. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys.